Welcome to Ni Santas Ni Diablas,
where we are unapologetically imperfect.
Join us as we defy society's labels of what it is to be a good girl.
We are your hosts, Kay,
Miriam,
and Rami. Welcome to the safe space.
Oh, that part we say together.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's
up?
Welcome back for our continuation of second gen struggles.
If you haven't listened or watched last week's episode, second gen struggles, just tune into that, because if not, you're not going to have any idea what we're talking about.
I mean, you might, but it won't flow.
Click, you know? So go ahead, tune into last week's episode, and then come back and tune into this week's episode.
And enjoy.
And if you've already listened,
enjoy.
But talking about, you mentioned arranged marriages.
I was about to say the same thing.
How is that? You're not, you already.
I literally can't. My parents had an arranged marriage, and I always tell them I'll pay for their divorce. Like, no, it's, some arranged marriages work out.
Yeah.
I will give that. But, you know, I don't know, like, they barely know each other. Even now, I look at my parents, like, they don't have anything in common. They'll be sitting in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
Not me, like, giving out my whole family. Whatever you're comfortable with. But, they, you know, like, growing up, I didn't really grow up with, like, I didn't see a healthy relationship with my parents. Mm-hmm. And I will always bring that back to the fact that it was an arranged marriage.
Mm-hmm. So they weren't, like, loving and hugging and kissing?
No, it was the complete opposite. And, you know, me and my brother talk about that, too. And he's like, you know, I think my brother had it harder than I did. You know, he saw a lot more crap than I did. And he remembers more of it more than I do. He's 4 years older. And he's like, it's kind of traumatizing, you know, having parents that are constantly arguing. Not, like, bickering, but, like, arguing. Like, I would hide my head under the pillow because I was like, I cannot take this shit.
It's crazy.
And how has that affected your, like,
relationship?
No, like, your
dating
life?
That's
I think you know what's crazy? Okay, this is from my own personal experience. Because I grew up with, like, physical and emotional abuse, I actually thought that was normal. And
wow.
Yeah,
that's like affection.
Like, that's normal. Like, my husband slaps the shit out of me. That's normal.
because he loves me.
Yeah, like, that's my job. Like, I'm supposed to do what he says.
So at what point were you like, this is not normal?
I think for me, it was, oh my God, this is gonna sound so bad, but, like, it was, like, high school. And I think it's because of my friends. I think it was because I got really close with Ramsey too. And your guys' parents are really like, have a decent relationship.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like loving. They're not they're not affectionate.
Yeah, but, like, even seeing Ramsey, she's my best friend, but seeing her relationship and also her, like, you know, when I was like I wouldn't say it was abusive, but I put up with a lot of toxic shit. And her
because you thought it was
normal. I thought it was normal. And she pointed that out to me. She was like, that's not normal. So it took me a really long time to grow out of that mindset. You know, in high school, I think I realized, like, you're not supposed to abuse your significant others. But I think to kind of realize that, like, you're not supposed to get treated like shit in a relationship.
I agree.
And, and, like, I feel pathetic saying that, but, like, that's the reality of it.
It's not pathetic. It's more common than people think.
Yeah. So I, like, you know, I didn't grow up with love at all. So, like, I didn't even know it. Like, I think recently, like, in my 20s is when I first started learning, like, what love is.
Do you have a hard time, like, expressing that or, like, showing that? It's like, oh, hi, I like you.
I like you. Like, you're ugly.
I should slap you.
No. But do you like struggle with that sometimes, like when you're dating? Or
I do. I think, I don't know. I also felt like as an Indian girl, like I already feel guilty that, like, I have to hide my relationship for my like from my parents, and now it's like I don't even know how to show affection to you. Like no one has taught me. You
That's rough. So you're, like, literally trial and error.
Yeah, like, literally, people don't understand. My 20s have been spent, like, raising myself. That's why I'm so behind in life. No, I'm not. I have my bachelor's.
That's one thing I did right.
I have a full-time job, but no, I think
just like emotionally, like, you had to literally, like, start from scratch.
Yeah, and it sucks, you know. And I think also, like, self-love isn't big in my culture. I mean, it's not big in a lot of foreign cultures, but I had to learn how to love myself, how to have a voice, you know,
Yeah.
and stand up against people. And I'm not perfect at it. I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
But it really, that's what I've been doing in my 20s.
I feel that. I
Good
feel
for you.
that.
I love that.
But
Yeah.
I love that
I
for
do
you.
love myself
Mhm.
a lot. I'll just put that out there.
I
I'm
love
the
that
best
for
I
you.
have.
Shit. Don't gotta tell me twice. I feel the same way. So absolutely no arranged marriages for you.
It's not going to work. You know me.
I
It's
know.
not gonna
I
work.
know her. I know it's not gonna work. But like,
It's
what
not,
if your parents were like,
I,
you know,
no, it's
gotta
just
do it.
not going to work.
they're okay with it. They're okay with you.
They'd
not.
be okay. They'd be like, oh, so we can pick out like the perfect guy in our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But what's perfect for them or good for them isn't perfect for me.
Yeah.
But they're okay with you not having an arranged.
I don't know.
marriage.
We'll find out.
Ooh,
We'll find
You
out.
haven't had that conversation.
They don't
with them?
say anything.
to be continued.
Oh, are we ending?
No, no. Like you got to give us an update.
Okay, so I think like the past 2 years, because I'm getting older, my mom's like, when are you gonna get married? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, well, you have to make sure. So the caste system, not to surprise you guys, is still around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And-
surprised.
I'm not. Well,
Well,
that's because I grew up with it.
Yeah.
The caste system is still up around, and for my parents, they're like, you have to marry someone of the same caste, the same religion, same area, like a good job. He has to look good. There's just so many damn requirements, and I'm like, so what if he's not Indian? Like, what if he's like black or white?
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like, well, then the culture gets lost. I'm like, girl, I don't know much about the culture myself. You know, like, to be honest, the culture, you know, you lost a bit of the culture when you came to America.
That's true, because you have to like assimilate.
Yeah.
You have to literally be like a chameleon and blend in order to make it.
Exactly.
So
But I get where they're coming from because there is a language barrier, you know, and once again, like, how are they going to tell other people, like, hey, my daughter's marrying like a black dude or a white dude? And you know what? If it was a white dude, they probably wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah.
we all know that. We all know that.
Unfortunately, they're not my type.
Fortunately for you, though,
Yeah.
you don't have to deal with that.
Exactly. So, you know, but it's a back, and I've just stopped talking about it. My mom's like, well, I'm like, I'm not interested. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't care about that stuff. Meanwhile, I do, but you know, it's always gonna be a back and forth conversation. It's always gonna be something that I'm gonna have to work on with them.
Do you want or desire to have a relationship with someone from the same culture? So that, do you feel like it's easier for you?
So I have dated guys that aren't Indian, and it's weird because I think for a lot of them it's kind of like, oh, she's Indian. I've never tasted that, you know?
Damn.
So you feel like it's
so
like a
you were
fetish.
a fetish?
Yeah.
That's whack.
And you know, like,
She's exotic.
no, that's literally what it is. And it just didn't work. You know, and I don't blame them. They just don't get it. You know, they're like, why can't you just tell your parents this? I'm like, I literally can't just tell my parents that. I can't just tell my parents, oh, I'm not going to come home this week. Why? I always
They
have to
don't
lie
get
to
it.
them.
They
I'm like, I have
No.
extra credit to do. They don't get extra credit in college anymore, you know?
They don't know that.
Lower your voice,
Yeah,
Pav.
And, you know,
I'm weak.
but, you know, right now I'm with someone who is of the culture, but I mean, I think I'm kind of lucky to have found him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easier because he's like, yo, you don't have to explain anything to
He
me. I get
knows.
it. And you know, like, it's such a relief. Like, I felt like when I was dating guys that weren't Indian, I felt like I was carrying a burden.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like, I constantly had to explain to them, and like, it was just so much. Like, I had to lie to my parents, and I had to make sure that the person I was
Like they're
was
good.
with, yeah, like, I
So
felt like I had
pressure
to do
is
extra.
Pressure on
exhausting.
both ends.
Yeah, I felt like I had to do extra to show it to them. But now with my significant other, he's like, no, like, you're good. Like, I'm okay.
Do you
Wow,
guys
that's
feel that
beautiful.
pressure because you guys are dating
Sometimes,
outside
yeah.
the race?
Yeah, sometimes I do. He is understanding, but I know sometimes he does get frustrated.
Yeah.
But I think when I was younger and I was dating, I felt that a lot. Like, oh, let's go hang out, let's do that, da da da, and they'll be like, what's wrong? Like, why can't you tell them? Like, let's go. But obviously those relationships weren't so serious.
Yeah.
But right now, like, sometimes I do feel like I have to make sure they're good sometimes.
But it's, you know, like, it's hard. It's so mentally draining. And I think that's why for me it just didn't work out in the past.
Yeah, I've never been in that position. I don't know
You
how.
know, honestly, like, I'm all for, like, you know, interracial couples, but sometimes it's easier to date the person of the same culture.
It honestly is, because like I feel like if I was to date someone who didn't at least speak the language, like how are you gonna freaking communicate to my mom?
That's another thing.
Like,
I never thought about that until I started dating, my significant other now. Like, he could speak Hindi and my parents can understand Hindi.
Ugh, I can't wait for
That's
them to
cool.
meet.
Oh my God.
I
That's
want
the
them
only thing they care
No,
about.
it is. It's a pressure, and it's like also a mindset too, because that's like, when do you put yourself first in the situation?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
And then you start thinking about kids, and it's like,
Yeah.
I gotta head out. Why? It's 11:30. I gotta head out.
no, literally. And it's like, what religion? How religious are you guys gonna be?
Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
God, yes.
And like,
I was
You know.
looking on that part.
No, my parents
yeah,
are like,
yeah.
we're never going to tell you no. We're never going to tell you, like, you can't be with this person, da-da-da. I'm like, that's cool. You shouldn't. Like, don't do that.
Right.
But they're like, you just have to decide what
Make sure
life
he
you want to
believes in
live.
God.
Yeah, no, they were like, you just got to decide what life you want to live and how religious you want to be. And it's just like, you're an adult, which is like, it's cool, but I feel like it's like, I don't know. Like, I still feel that.
It's
Like,
still like,
pressure.
yeah. It's a guilt trip. It's like
Yeah,
a guilt trip.
that's
Like,
what it is.
It's like, oh, so all right, don't be saved then. I'm not gonna see you in the afterlife.
Yes. They didn't say that, but that's how it felt.
That's what it feels like.
I'm
Good
like,
luck in hell.
no. Not hell.
But you also have to remember, like, when shit doesn't go right in your relationship, they're gonna be like,
I
that's
told
because he
you.
doesn't believe in
This is
God.
your
Yes,
God.
no.
That's because he's not a religious man.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's like, I don't want to do that. Like, he's a good person. He's a kind person. But it's like,
And you know what? A lot of people our age, like, the men are trash. Like, y'all claim you're religious, but I'm pretty
they
sure.
be the worst, bro.
Right. Like, y'all treat your
I'm-
woman like shit.
Yeah.
For sure. Like there's some church guys, like
Church guys are the worst.
I've
They're
talked
pretty
to
bad.
The worst, the PK.
Oh,
kids,
yeah.
they're the
Yeah,
worst.
the pastor's kids.
Mhm.
They're trifling. They are trifling.
Mhm.
I don't know, something about being like the pastor's kid.
Because they think they're on a stool, like on a, what is it
Yeah,
called,
yeah.
a pedestal?
Yeah,
Yes.
pedestal,
That's
and
what
it's
it
just
is.
like even worse. Like they have that ego.
Mm-hmm.
Their shit don't stink.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And it's just like, dude, like, how are you even like Christian?
Facts.
Yeah. I
Like,
remember.
'cause-
So the last guy I dated,
He was flashbacks.
he was Christian, and this is a conversation we had all the time. And I get it, like when you're Christian and because of my religion, like you want to stick with what you believe to, but with whatever I'm trying to say. But, I was constantly trying to explain to him, like, we both believe in God. We're both good people.
Yeah.
But for some people, that's not enough, and that's
Yeah.
Are you trying
okay,
to convert
but-
you?
No.
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 I thought you were gonna. I thought
that's a story.
I thought that's what you were gonna say. Like, you trying to
He
convert?
gave me a pan flip. No.
It's so weird, but I feel like if we had lasted longer, maybe he would have tried. Maybe.
Wow.
I don't know, but that's done with.
Mhm.
But Rob is making me mad nervous right now.
I should get the cameras.
But now the guy I'm with, like, he's not of the same religion, but he knows of the religion.
Okay.
And, I hope he believes in God, but regardless, he's a good person. Like,
Yeah.
and the fact that he knows of my religion and he's willing to be like, oh no, I'll go to a temple with you. I'll have
Yeah.
the wedding ceremony. Like
Yeah.
that makes it so much easier. Like I don't feel like I have to do a Christian wedding and like an Indian, like a Sikh wedding, you know?
Yeah.
My boyfriend too, like he knows of the religion, not like specifically Pentecostal,
Yeah.
but like Christianity. And he comes to church with me, and I'm like, I always tell him, like, you don't have to. Like, this is your choice. This is your
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
You don't have to. And he's like, no, like, I want to go. It's like, he's like, I kind of like it. And I'm like, okay.
So cute.
Blessed
But
be
yeah.
him.
Facts. Amen.
So going back to our parents, I just want to reminisce on the stuff. You know how like they're like, oh, we did so much for you. What are the things we did for them growing up?
FAFSA. I mean, no, that was for myself. Never mind.
But I don't know if I'm doing this right.
No,
That was
literally.
terrible.
Dude, I had to fill that out one time. I gave up halfway and I was like,
Yeah.
you know what, fuck this, I'll pay cash.
Because you get an email every day. More information needed. More information needed.
I'll pay
Not
cash.
cash.
I'll pay cash
For me
because
to
it's
get
not worth
nothing.
it.
Now my
basically
dad gave me his
nothing.
whole tax papers. Like that thick ass packet. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. What is this?
Wait, to do your taxes? To do his taxes?
No, to go to FAFSA. And I bought the packet too. And she was like, I don't need all of this. I'm like, I don't know.
There's no.
Yeah, like I feel like growing up, well, not not so much my dad, because like I said, he was like educated and stuff, but because my dad was always at work, it was just my mom. My mom was like basically a single mom. I mean, she had income coming in, and my dad would come home at night, but like he'd be away from like basically. I mean, she got the ring, but basically
the house. Isn't he like 10 years older too?
No,
girl, she's making
no. I think they're like 5 or 6 years apart.
Okay,
yeah.
Never mind. Sorry, Marty.
Listen, when they're 90 and 100, it don't matter.
This is true. But like, so my dad will be out by like what, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Wouldn't come home till like 9, 10 o'clock, and then he's like ready for bed. So like, she was basically doing it all by herself. So my sister and I say my sister and I because my brother was like really young. Like when it came to like parent teacher conferences, we had to translate everything. When it came to grocery shopping, and if it wasn't a Dominican grocery store, like we had to translate. We did everything. And I feel like my mom even took English class, but I feel like, in the college, right? But I feel like we enabled her so much that we wouldn't even let her talk. Like, because we got so used to translating.
So I don't know if you felt this, but I was always scared people were going to laugh at my mom. And
of
I
talking
felt like
English,
I had to protect her.
Yeah,
because people did laugh at my mom.
Same.
And as a 10-year-old, that used to make me really sad, and I felt like I had to protect her.
Yeah, I think that's why we would always, like, every time she would try, because she has like a heavy accent, she doesn't say the words right. Yeah. So we would just like cut her off and just like do it for her, because it was like easy. And like you said, I feel like it was more like, oh, like I don't want her to embarrass herself. Yeah. Like I don't want people to laugh or like not understand, you know, bully her or something. So I would just, my sister and I would just cut her off and do everything for her. So I feel like that's why her English hasn't developed as much as it should have. With the paperwork, I feel like anything. The good thing though is that you can get them to sign anything.
No,
that's a fact.
They wouldn't even sign it. I would just sign it for them.
Oh, really?
I forged everything. I'm like, oh, I have paperwork. They're like, okay, like I'll fill it out, and they're like, yeah.
The reading logs.
Oh yeah, reading logs.
Cool stuff. I was bad on that. I was terrible. Like,
would you forge or would you?
Yeah, a lot of times I couldn't even find the paper.
Nah, I forge all the time.
Okay, but would your parents know or?
My dad is fluent in English, but he still has an accent. Yeah. My mom is fluent in English and Spanish because her dad was really big on you need to learn the language. I don't want anyone thinking as dumb.
Because she's
less educated.
She's first gen.
She's first. Yes. No,
she's second gen?
She's second gen.
Okay.
So my grandfather was like, know your language, but know this language as well, because I don't want anyone thinking you're less educated. So I think my dad also had the help of my mom a lot of the times. But there are times when like I would be in the the drive-through with my dad, and he can speak English, but through the speaker system. So because I feel like let me talk for my dad, or like let me order food for my dad or something like that. I
do that.
Like he is fluent, like he knows, he's very smart, but the ignorance in some people sometimes like, we don't know how to speak Spanish. Like he can speak English.
I think for all of us, I'm sure there's some sort of protection.
Yeah.
I want to protect them because people are ruthless.
For real.
Really mean.
Yep.
Agreed. So I did that. Legal paperwork. I don't think I ever, except like college paperwork, like applying to colleges. Like I feel like maybe I'm like generalizing this a little bit, but like an American household, like maybe they had their parents more involved into like looking at colleges, selecting colleges.
Absolutely, they did. They went to college like tours.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I never
pamphlets
did that
were on the table. I didn't have that.
They were like, "You're going to OC, period."
That's it. I didn't have.
They said, "Figure that shit out."
It was like, like, do your research. Let us know. Like,
literally, do your research. Let us know.
You're smart enough.
But then I see like, I don't know if this is just like television, but like I've seen like parents make trips like
they do that.
They do that.
My alma mater was the alma mater.
Alma mater.
I was like, are you trying to say automotor?
No,
there you go. Like I see that. Like go to my alma.
That
word.
At my PT job, like it's mostly like older people and parents or whatever that come in, and they're like, "Oh, my kid goes to this school. Oh, we're touring that school this weekend, and she might want to go here."
They're so like
but I went
in their
here,
kids'
and I'm just like. shit. Like,
yeah, I feel like American parents are super involved in their children's life.
That's
Like,
gonna
I
be
feel
us,
like,
though.
huh?
That's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be us.
that's gonna be
yeah.
me for
I'm like,
sure.
you're gonna be a superstar. We're going to the
Yeah.
best
Ivy
school.
League, yeah,
Harvard.
facts.
Like, no, to scope it out a little bit.
No excuses.
No, for sure. I'm gonna be in that aspect. I do like that American culture. Like they're
Yeah.
super involved.
Yeah.
They have more. I don't want to say more like a friendship, but they have a friendship. Their
Yeah.
parents. Some of them are way too friendly. But I feel like if you do it right, you can have that perfect balance of being like a parent and having that trust to be a relationship, like friendship.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my parents now they're getting to know me, but growing up I was so I had like a shell. Like my parents didn't know anything about me at all. Like they everything they knew was from like when I was 5.
Yeah. You still like this?
Yo, that's so true.
And
No.
it's like, no, I don't like that no
You still
more.
go to Trim and Moon?
Yeah, I was taking you to school, right? This is the way.
But like I feel like now because I'm like more open and I'm not like scared of them at this
Yeah.
point, like I'm showing them who I am and what I like, the things, even like when it comes to music, like my mom knows my favorite artist, like, oh, I'm gonna go see him. I like this type of music. I don't like that type of music. I mean, she hates it.
I do sometimes. If it's like Mexican ranchera music, my mom's like, yeah, but like if it's Bad Bunny, I'll share that. I'll share
She's
that.
like, I'm gonna keep that to myself.
I like pushing buttons. I'd be like, Alexa, play Bad Bunny. And they're like, ¿Qué música es? Like all like bad words, but
like going back to what you were saying, is it also because you also have a career now?
I think so. I'm not scared of
Like
everything.
you got money.
I'm open.
I'm still scared.
Adopt me. Yeah, like, I don't got a
I don't got
career.
shit
They
right
kick me
now.
out.
No, I'm
I'm
telling you, I'm more open with my parents now, and I'm not scared to like face them because I'm not scared of getting kicked out of the house. Like that's basically what it is. Like I now have an apartment, so I have an apartment, I have a car, and I make my own money. Like, what can you really tell me? You
That's very true.
At this point, you gotta accept me for who I am. And if you don't like me, that's on you.
I have parents.
goals.
I have parents though, like
Queen Rami.
you guys talk about. I'm not afraid about getting kicked out. Like my parents.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid.
No.
I'm so under the health insurance.
So that's what you guys
Couple
are
more
saying.
months, girl.
Like,
Couple more months.
For me, I know for a fact
I'm
my
crying.
parents will never kick me out because it's kind of like we want you under this roof. Like we kind of can like
To monitor
Control.
you.
not like control, but like still have like that over. Like I know for a fact my parents wouldn't kick me out, but I am definitely more open. But there's certain things I'm like, do I want to deal with the fact of their opinion sometimes?
Wow.
So like sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna hold it because I don't want to get into this back and forth of something that they're not gonna just understand, and it's not gonna be overnight. That it's gonna be like,
Yeah, I feel like you and your parents are more emotional.
yes,
Like me and my parents are not emotional. So like if they don't like it, they don't like it. If I don't like it, I don't. We just gotta take it.
Yeah.
That's the
I hang
relationship
out
we
with my
have.
parents.
Yeah, but you have more of like an emotional relationship
do.
with them.
I
So
do.
like
I also think it's because your parents like kind of get the American culture maybe a bit more than ours. Maybe.
I wouldn't say that. My parents are much younger than their parents.
Mine too. Then.
My parents are younger. My dad is very involved in his culture, but they grew up in a very loving and affectionate household.
Yeah.
Always. My dad is very super affectionate because his father was super affectionate. My mom's super affectionate because her parents were super affectionate. They grew up, that's like their part. So I think that's why we have an emotional like
That's a good thing though.
it is a good
really
thing,
good
but it
thing.
also can be a bad thing because you can wear your heart on your sleeve a lot. So anything that kind of bothers you that doesn't need to really be brought up.
it's like a whole house of emotion.
Yeah.
So it could be good, but at the same time, it could be bad. And then we have
Therapy.
avoidance here. Like you kind of just.
I don't want to talk about this because I know it's gonna be something.
I want my family to go to therapy.
I
Dude,
think every cultural
Oh my
Facts.
god!
needs to
I
go to
wish you
therapy.
could go to, like
This
family
is-
therapy.
Oh my god.
My parents would hate me. The amount of stuff like I would open up about, they'd be like,
you talk about
dare
this
you?
now, or like shit.
We don't know you. You're not our daughter. Like, oh
But
my
it's
God.
never gonna happen because it's always like you don't need to tell people your
exactly,
business.
Yeah.
exactly.
Even though it's a therapist, but
It's still like
they're the
someone
ones who are
knowing your
gonna tell their
business.
business. Like that's what they
I
don't
think
understand.
my parents are okay with that, with therapy.
Yeah.
But not like me bringing them in. Let's say I need to go to therapy.
That's the thing. You go to
I
therapy.
got a
We
story for
good.
I actually went to therapy.
Oh, you did?
How was it?
How was it?
So-
I want to go
Queen's
so
College.
bad.
Okay, if your college like offers free therapy, take it. But Queen's College gave free therapy, and I went, and I actually hid it from my parents. But I told my brother, really dumbass move of me.
Because he told your parents.
Yeah.
Damn.
My
They're probably
mom-
like, what's wrong?
Not in that. Like, my mom was mad. She was like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you depressed? We give you everything. Da-da-da. And I'm like, oh my God.
That
like,
gaslighting.
Yeah, and I
Not
still
the
deal with
roof
that.
over your head talk.
Right. We feed you. Like, you have so much freedom.
No.
Like,
It's like, this is why I'm in therapy, the lies.
and I'm like, yo, and I told them, I was like, I don't want to be like you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I tell my parents,
That's
I
heavy.
tell my mom that a lot. And like, I don't want to hurt her feelings, but she really needs to get it. Like, I don't want to be like her.
That's heavy.
Okay,
How does she react, though? Every
Yeah.
time you say
Damn.
that. Like,
Ouch.
I know
that
I
hurts.
know it hurts her, but listen, if y'all heard the things my mom said to me, like, my mom's a bully. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like, parents can be bullies too. And
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's important to
My
acknowledge
dad's
that.
a bully.
Yeah, like, and
should be out of pocket sometimes.
yes.
Like, what?
Yes. And, you know, of course, don't be like, I'm not saying you should do this, but, you know, when you're angry, it just comes out.
No,
Yeah.
it does. It
And
does.
it's like,
You can't hold it in.
I don't know, you got to attack fire with fire sometimes.
Pav is ready to go. She's
I mean,
ready
I've
for
done
war.
it. I've done it before, but like I said, I've only gained that confidence because I am now like 100% independent. So like when I fought, but I do agree with you. When I actually fought fire with fire, like I felt we came to a more like understanding. Like at the end of that, like
All the
we
arguing.
burned each other's
Yeah,
like houses.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, now let's build it together.
yeah.
And then now I do see after that big ass argument I had with like mostly my dad, because my mom's like pretty chill. Like I feel like we have a better like source of communication now. Like we are more open.
Yeah.
We communicate more. Like I let him more into my life. I explain stuff to him. But I feel like if we didn't have that big ass fight, like we'd be.
I have yet to get to that point in my life.
Same.
I'm really waiting for it.
It's gonna happen.
I brush mad shit off.
It's
Oh,
gonna.
yeah, you do.
It's gonna
You do.
happen
under the table.
You do. Miriam does.
all the time.
Yeah.
I'm sometimes like, oof.
That would piss me off.
That would
I would say something. She's like, it's not worth it.
It's
It's
not
really
worth
not
it.
sometimes.
I just want,
Eventually
I just
it
want
will be
peace
worth
of
it, though.
mind.
It will. It will one day. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I want to move out at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to be there. That's why I keep shoving it.
But I think it'll still happen too. I thought about this for myself. Like, if I do move out, how's my relationship gonna be if I do have kids? Will my kids have to let things go, push things under the rug with my parents on certain things because I'm
No, because
teaching?
they're gonna have a life.
Well, no, not like that. But like I don't want that to like. I don't want them to see my relationship with my parents.
I feel like it's different when you get older.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different. I'm not gonna live in their house.
I feel like that's what she's saying. Like once she
true.
moves out, maybe that will open that, I don't know.
Communication.
I mean, I do
Communication.
communicate. We do talk about certain things, but
So I actually had moved out. And I think my relationship with my mom was actually
better.
better than.
I get that.
And
Yeah,
my
I
dad
see
too,
that.
like he actually used to call me. It was the same conversation, but like,
How you doing?
Did
Good?
you eat?
yeah,
Good.
like, what are you doing?
Bye.
Okay, bye. And but you know, like the fact that he called me and like I talked to my mom, it was better because you need that space sometimes.
No, you do.
Mhm.
Shit, you do.
And they're also not there to see half the shit you do.
So they're not complaining about
Right.
stuff. And you know what's funny? It's like, oh, like you don't know what I'm doing, but you still treat me the same. So why can't I do that? Like, why can't I be open and honest and tell you what I'm doing and still be treated the same? Like, why
Yeah.
do you have to like,
Not see it.
yeah, in order to like be good?
Yeah.
That's don't ask, don't tell
Yeah,
kind
it's
of policy.
policy.
It is.
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
Yeah.
the world we live in. Well, we live in.
We live in.
I mean, we
Yeah.
don't really do crazy shit.
No, we
don't.
don't.
That's
No, we
why
don't.
I
have to
Have.
sit here
We
like-
don't. I just want to go to the city for one night and come home at 4 a.m. with a partner to explore and not
You
get
could
shit
do
work.
that. I did that this past weekend.
Good for you.
Listen, if my strict ass Indian parents let me do that, you could do it.
No, I can do it. It's
Oh
just,
wait, you told your parents?
I didn't tell them I was going to a club, but they know I was in the city.
Oh yeah,
No,
we
I
could get
can-
that far, but
I
I
can
can't
do-
tell them I'm out drinking. And
No.
But
or,
like spending the night with a significant other,
Oh.
like
No.
No, that's what she's talking
that's
about.
what
significant
I
other.
mean. Like I'm going on a weekend trip. That's
No.
never.
You need
That's
the
a
ring,
dub.
sis.
That-
The
yeah.
ring.
The marriage certificate.
Oh, that was like
Certificate.
another realization. Like people do that. It's like your boyfriend, like in high school, or like your
Oh,
boyfriend's
yeah.
allowed to go to your house.
Yeah.
Your
Well,
boyfriend's allowed
granted,
to.
I didn't have a boyfriend in high school, but
Neither.
But But that stuff used to blow my mind. Like, you're 16 and your boyfriend gets to sleep over your house.
Yeah,
That's a little. I think that's a little too much for my liking.
In my opinion, but still, it's very common.
But like these kids also probably had the sex talk.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I did not have the sex talk.
I did not have the sex talk at all.
I remember when I got my period, I didn't even know what it was. I thought I was dying.
My mom explained it, but sex on that point,
explained it too, but
it was about
not
sex.
Still haven't had the sex talks.
Me neither. I'm just not. You know what I'm gonna do when the day I get like
Pregnant?
engaged? No, engaged. I'm gonna go up to them and be like, I think we need to talk about something.
I'm crying.
I think I'm married now and I'm about to have sex.
Stop! Your dad's gonna be like, Remy, I don't think so.
Like, it's gonna be like, it's a stutter.
Be like, so how does it work?
So like,
How does
what am I supposed to do when I have sex?
It's like, does the guy
Like,
have what part? Does the
No.
guy
If
have?
I ask my mom, she'd be like, I medium. Like, she's like,
No, I
Get
feel
on
like
my
I'm gonna
face.
get that reaction because
Yeah.
it's like we know that you know and
Yeah,
you
you
know,
know.
so you know.
The movie-
It's like
we're not stupid.
I know.
The
but-
movies lied. Parents do not talk about sex in our culture.
No,
Like, you're not getting the birds and the bees talk.
Nah, I'm
whatever
gonna
it
wait
is.
until my mom's like, "Why aren't you having kids yet?" I'm like, "How? How do I have that?"
I like that. I like
I
that.
do that. I never got that. I never got
Wait,
that.
how do you have kids?
I already hugged him.
It's not working, clearly.
I made eye contact. Like, it's not working.
I like that idea way better.
That's so
It don't
funny.
come from my belly button? What?
Wait,
Yo, wait,
so
you
I
know
don't
what's
get a knock on the
crazy?
door? They ain't gonna be
There
a
ain't
start.
no bird.
Where are the bees, Mom?
I still don't.
Where did that shit come from?
I adopted them. There's no.
I
no
honestly
baby.
don't
Are the
know.
birds coming?
Yeah. What does that go hand in hand? Birds and the bees. I really don't understand it.
Dude, I feel
Nah.
like that would be epic.
That reminds me though. I don't want to cut you off. So I found a condom once in my dryer. I was like 12 years old.
Oh,
Is it your
I thought it was a
no.
balloon, but I didn't open it. I was like, it
Oh,
smells weird. Let
no.
me put it back.
It smells
Yeah,
weird.
it was still like packaged. And I think a couple years later, I was like, oh shit, it was definitely my brother's.
Oh.
And I remember my mom like went up to him. She was like, you can have girlfriends, but you can't have sex. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I can't even have boyfriends.
Can have a male friend.
I'm still on the fact that you touched your brother's condom.
It was wrapped. It was wrapped.
It was wrapped. It was a new one.
Ew.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
At
I
first
thought
she
you
said
found
she
the use.
smelt it. I was like, ooh, girl.
No, like, yo, condoms don't like rub. I don't know. Maybe because it was in a dryer, like the rubber smell was very strong.
And it was
I
because it was
haven't
heated.
smelled
Was
Yeah,
it
it's
like
probably heated up.
yeah,
that's
heated
why.
up?
Yeah, he didn't get to heat it up, clearly.
Oh my god.
I used to. I don't know, but I had high school. I had a condom. Never was gonna use it, but I had it in my wallet. I felt like a badass bitch.
Yo, I think women should carry condoms. I'm all for women carrying condoms. I'm sorry.
This classmate gave it to me. And I was like,
You're probably like, ooh.
classmate.
I got a
it was the
condom.
NYC condoms. You remember those? Like,
Yes.
And I remember I found like an old wallet. That shit was like falling apart.
The condom. Can I use this?
My gosh, sex
But
talk.
yeah, it's.
Sex 101?
Noted. When I'm engaged, I'm gonna have that talk with my parents.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna
That's a
bring it
good
up,
one.
and I'm gonna record it
Oh
too.
God.
I'm gonna record it.
It's time
I'm
to
not saying
have it.
shit.
Record
No?
your
We're not
sex?
having a talk. We're not
That's
having
it.
nothing.
You're gonna let it go.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to do it just for the culture.
Nah.
I'm gonna make them squirm.
Yes, squeam.
Squeam.
Ew. I don't think I could have that talk with my parents.
I want to. I want to see what they would
Nah.
say.
My dad would dead ass just be like, oh.
And probably not with my dad. Maybe.
I feel like my mom would say something though. When I'm about to get married, I feel
Yeah.
like she's gonna say something to me.
You know what? I'm gonna
she's
ask
a little-
my sister.
She's a little open.
Huh?
Oh, because she's
Oh.
She's
Oh.
engaged.
she's about to
Yes.
be passing that
I'm
threshold.
gonna ask her and be like,
Mhm.
have maybe they talk to her about it. And
Maybe.
I
She's like,
mean,
no.
she's
You
actually
think
a
so?
virgin. No, but maybe I don't know. But I feel like she would have told me like, "Yo,
Mommy,
mommy
Yeah,
and
she
papi
would've.
just had the sex talk."
Yeah,
with
she
me.
would have made that same face.
So, but I'm gonna ask her and be like, "Yo, let me know if they like maybe the night of the wedding."
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Listen,
Nah, imagine your mom gives her like lingerie and stuff.
Oh. I'm gonna find a video.
That's
Be like,
OD.
I found this video. Can you guys explain it to me?
it's like a whole porn." What are they doing?
What are they doing? What's
I
going
don't know.
on?
Anyways, do you feel like you owe your parents for their sacrifices?
No.
No. You're
I feel like if I think of it like that, I'm not going to be able to do things for them out of love. You know, like I really care about my parents. Like if anyone knows me, I love my parents way too much. Like,
yeah.
I felt that.
I love them so much. Like, I'm always worried about them, their health, like everything. But if I feel like I owe them something, it's just not going to be out of love.
I can see that.
And I feel like
a burden. Like,
yeah. And I think that will, you know, I don't have the best relationship with my parents as it is, but
Yeah. I mean, I feel like my relationship with my parents, like,
it's
obviously
getting better.
It's getting better, but it could be like so much better. Like, and I hate comparing my relationship to them to like other people's relationship with their parents, because everybody's journey is different. But I feel like sometimes I see like other parents and their children, like I'm gonna say on Facebook, because we all have kind of generally the same relationship with our parents.
Yeah.
Like, and they're more like, I don't know, maybe like more in tuned.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
So, but
you know what? I also think that goes back to the fact that, like, I don't think my parents know themselves that well. You know, I don't think they ever got the opportunity to explore themselves.
yeah.
And I think
agree.
it's so important to, like, know yourself in order to be a good parent. And of course, parents don't come with a handbook, so they're trying to figure
Facts.
that
They're
shit
just-
out too.
They're literally trying to figure it out as they're raising us.
I say that all the
Till
time.
this
Trial
day.
and error.
Yeah. Being married at 18,
Yeah,
you
different.
don't know.
Yeah, facts.
You
don't even know
You're not even
yourself.
fully
I-
developed.
I
you
didn't-
left the house. You don't have those regulations of like my mom. I always have to. It annoys me, but I have to like. All right, you don't understand what it means to be single at 26 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
So
They've never experienced
Yeah.
that at all.
no child at 26 years
Shit,
old.
my mom was married with a kid at my age.
Oh shit.
My mom was on her second one.
My mom was about to get married.
My
My mom
mom 2 or
waited.
3 already. I don't know.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't feel like not that I owe them, but like I feel like I want to do more
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
just to like kind of just make them proud. Like,
Yeah.
No, I
like,
feel
this is
that.
what you guys did.
Facts.
Yeah, like
type
I
shit.
feel that, but I don't feel like I owe it. Like,
Owe it to them too.
Yeah.
I don't think I feel like I'm obligated,
I
but
feel
I just
a little
want to
bit that way. Yeah.
like obligated to what, to do better.
To do better, but I still do things out of love.
Mhm.
But I still feel like I want to do stuff and them to be proud of me. But I still feel like I owe them.
Because they did so
Yeah,
much.
that's why I have so much guilt.
I wouldn't say it's guilt for me. It's something I think for me, giving is a love language. So not just in a relationship, I want to be able to give them things that I experienced they couldn't get. Like my mom's like, I've always wanted to go to Greece and just explore Greece. And like, if I could afford that, I would absolutely love.
Yeah.
Like something like that. Like something she had that brings her pure joy that she couldn't go. I don't feel guilty. I just want to see her happy because they've done stuff for me and it made me happy. I don't feel like a guilt. I just want my parents to be happy, you know?
Yeah, you want them to be set.
Yeah.
and
So,
like going back to what Marion said, like owing your parents something, like if you feel like it's not always a bad thing, you know? It's mostly because you love them. It's out of love where it's like, you did so much for me. It's like the least I can do for you.
yeah.
That's
You know?
exactly how I feel.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to, I know this is not the first time you mentioned it. I think you mentioned it last episode of like being able to give your parents like a house or give them that. See, I don't have that because
How much does the world cost? I'm giving it to you. You seen that video?
no,
Bruh. Never
no.
mind.
But like my parents, even growing up, like my dad had a really good job and my parents are well off. Like right now they're building their own house. They're trying to build another house. Like one thing me and my siblings were always raised knowing is like, they always said, we're going to be set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have my retirement money.
Yeah.
We're going to live the best life when we're like, you know, when you guys are set. So don't worry about us. My dad said, we don't want money from you guys because we're set.
Yeah.
Like I literally worked for me and my wife to be set.
Yeah.
Now
I
you
don't
guys
feel that way.
Oh, you don't feel that? I feel that way.
Yeah. So that's how we were raised.
That's
like,
what they were
since
told us. Yeah.
always told us, he's like, everything else you guys have to worry about. But like concerning us, you guys don't have, even when I give my dad a gift, it's like, why'd you get this from me?
Like you don't have to. Why did you spend this much money on me?
He's like, I didn't need this.
Yeah.
Or something. I'm just like, just enjoy the
People
gift.
like return it.
Yes, like don't ask me when I got it. Don't ask me how much. I wanted to give it to you.
Yeah.
So I love to give, but like my parents are so like minimalistic, and every big thing is kind of like me. Like everything they want, they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got it from her parents.
You know what the thing is? Like I also think about like I want my own way for me of giving them. Like one day I want my own house for them to be able to come and like be good. Like a safe space still for them as well. Like
Yeah.
I think like it's mine, but I want you to enjoy it as well. Like I think about like certain things like that as well. So
My parents are coming with me. I'm not paying for daycare.
I feel that. I feel that.
My mom already said hell nah. She's like hell
Word.
nah. She's like nope. She's like maybe a weekend like randomly when you want to go
What?
away, that's fine. But other than that, no.
My mom is like a 3-month minimum.
3 months.
3 months, she's staying with me.
At least 3 months. Like nah, my mom's like maybe a weekend. You gotta figure it out because I'm gonna be living my best life basically.
it's 50-50 because I know
support
my
that.
dad would be like crazy. My mom would be crazy about the grandchildren, absolutely.
Yeah.
But she's gonna be like, we need
Time
our
to go
time.
home.
We need
Yeah.
our time. But
Yeah.
I don't know about my dad. Sometimes I wonder if my dad's gonna be like, yeah, bring the kid. She's
We
gonna be
will
like,
watch him for a month.
he was here yesterday. Like we love you, baby. Like, but I think it's 50-50 for my parents. But
And
I can't wait to see how my parents are with their
grandkids, they're gonna be completely different.
they're gonna be great.
You're gonna be like, who are you?
Mhm.
right. They're gonna be so much.
Facts.
How do you? Because your parents are the
Facts.
only grandparents in the group.
Oh,
Yeah, their grandparents. Oh my God. Like he takes her out. He like cleans her. If he like say Marsha needs like him to watch her sometimes, he'll clean her, change her and everything. And my mom's like, maybe he changed her diaper just twice, like for me. So it's like he's so involved. And it's just
And
like
his
I don't feel
grandchildren's
bitter, but it's just like I'm happy he has time now to like spend with her and like the younger kids, as in like back then he didn't have time to take care
my
of
dad-
his
Because
kids.
he was like working.
Yeah.
And there's
It's-
not the responsibility of financially providing for your grandkids.
Mhm.
No, there's not that pressure of like you gotta make sure your
Yeah.
grandkids are good.
Yeah, I think their only obligation is to have fun.
Yeah,
Exactly.
enjoy life. But
Whatever.
that's a different point of view though.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I wouldn't. It's more like how they react in a certain situation. For me, that would probably be like, I'm
do
glad
you
you're doing
mean?
it with your grandchild instead of me. Like God forbid if my child gets pregnant at a young age, they're not gonna approach the situation if it was like me. I know for a fact it's gonna be like, we love you, let's try to figure this out. Like for me, my dad was really involved. Like he would change us and stuff like that. It's more like I hope you react very differently compared to how if certain situations do come
Nah,
up.
if my child got pregnant young, they'll be like, it's because he's not a Christian man, the guy you married. That's why.
Your fault. That's the
And it's
example
my
you
fault.
That's an example you showed. That's what you
Damned
got.
if I do.
Damned if you don't.
My life is fucked either way.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Take it back to like the man you married 20 years ago. That's why your daughter
Literally.
at 16 is pregnant.
Literally.
Oh my God.
It's like, no,
How?
How?
yeah. Okay.
Any final advices for other first/second gen Americans?
Therapy.
Yeah. I was actually gonna say that therapy. I think also just just know you will find your voice. You will figure it out.
Ooh, yes.
Am I?
That gave me chills. No,
I'm just saving up to leave.
no, but once you leave, you're gonna find your voice.
I
No,
hope
you
so.
literally, even with your parents, you're gonna find your voice.
Mhm.
It is gonna happen. I truly agree.
Do you ever talk to your siblings about it? Like, do they feel like they are still in the same boat, or do they feel more open? With your parents?
Somewhat, but not really. Like for example, Eleazar, he lives in Texas, but he calls them every day, but he's not saying like, oh, I'm going out tonight.
He's not open.
Yeah, he's not open. And it's just like, there's only certain things that you share. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not at the point where I'm sharing like
Mm-hmm.
I'm going out.
Nah,
I'm
you
really
really
can't.
can't.
I don't do that. I just
think-
share a little bit,
Mhm.
little by little. You
Until
know,
you're married.
I don't
maybe.
not even until you find out my wedding day how crazy I get.
No, literally.
They're gonna be like, "Who is this?
Who is
woman?"
this?
So
True.
fortunately for me, as I got older, my brother has been a very big advocate for me on certain things.
You're lucky.
But I
So
think,
facts.
but
I
you
got
know,
mad older brothers.
but you know what I
Love you,
think?
Jack.
You know what I think it is as well. I wouldn't be mad at him, but I think his girlfriend has really helped him see like, because she wasn't raised too strict as we were. So I think sometimes like your sister's 26 years old, Michael, and he like you're right.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, I just call mommy. Don't worry about it. I'm like, you called her or something. Like, why would you call her? Like,
Right.
But like, it does help
Yeah.
because sometimes you like my mom. It happens. It's a mindset that's hard to break
Yeah.
sometimes. So
No.
she will call him. My mom will call her, like, what do you want? Do you want her to like leave?
Everyone's on their own in my house.
No, my brother. So my brother,
One for-
my brother definitely fights fire with fire's like, so what? So what? You want her to leave and never speak to you again? Go ahead, do that. Like sometimes he'll say that, and my mom's like, well, I don't want that. Like, and I'm like, you see, Mom? You see, like, from upstairs. But no, he has become, like, an advocate. I'm like, she's older. Don't be so hard on her. Like,
I mean, there's few times my brothers has stepped in. For example, like my sister. I honestly don't remember any time someone stood up for me. But it's like very, very few. Most of the time, it's like you're on your own. That's your battle.
That could be a good thing. Maybe that just means you got to figure it out, according to them.
Or maybe they just don't have.
They don't want the problem. They don't want the
There was
issues.
a case where there one time where I was about to say, like, why didn't you say something? Because you had that, you were able to have those liberties when you had your moment. And it frustrated very much so.
Yeah, but like Miriam said, it's kind of just like they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with it.
Because trust me, when I defend my brother, I get, not only does my brother still get the raft, but then I get the raft.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
too.
then we get nowhere. So I felt that sometimes I'm just like,
it's your battle.
You have to take the L.
So you knew he was doing that, and you didn't encourage him, and you encouraged him. Like, no, I didn't encourage. Like, it's like, so it is a double-edged sword.
I feel like it's kind of the opposite for me and my brother. Even though he's older, I feel like I'm kind of defending him more. First of all, I barely be seeing him, but like,
where does he live?
Downstairs.
At home.
Next door. Downstairs.
I thought he lived somewhere else.
He might as well. Like, it really wouldn't change anything. But my brother has always been the rebellious child. Like, always. He's the boy. He's the firstborn. And, like, I'm still, till this day, I'm still, like, defending him. My mom's like, he's doing marijuana. I'm like, no, he's not.
Marijuana?
His eyes are just red.
Allergy season.
Allergies, right. She's like, oh, like, he doesn't have his career figured out. I'm like, he's in his last semester of nursing. Like, he's fine. You know, like, I'm constantly defending him.
Do you get that same vibe back?
I'm kind of the good child.
Oh, so there's nothing.
He doesn't really know about the shit I do anyways. I don't do crazy shit, but after he blurred out my therapy, I ain't trusting him.
We're done.
Yeah,
Like, I don't trust him. You're a cut, man. You left
your own family.
He let you down. Facebook was left open.
And therapy.
At 16, and therapy too.
That's OD.
But you know what? I think I do talk to him like once in a while, and we have a lot in common. And like, I remember growing up, I was like, yo, you're a piece of shit. Like, I literally thought that about him. And I legit did not like my brother.
You have very good communication if you don't think you don't. 'Cause, like, you're upfront about certain things.
With not my parents, but my brother. And I think as I started, we went through that. We saw the same shit. He just handled it differently than I did.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him for that. So he's cool or whatever.
He's my brother.
Yeah.
He's there. Downstairs.
Well, that concludes our episode of second generation. I'm first. So first/second generational struggles.
Yeah.
We can go on and on and talk
We
about
can literally talk about this all
it's
day.
like
I
an
feel like
endless
there's so much to
topic.
talk
It can be continued.
I feel like there's
Literally.
so many subtopics within that.
Yeah. I feel like we kind of did an overview.
Yeah, because there's stuff like we had
We
that
touched very lightly.
there's stuff that we had that we were supposed to talk about, and it's like we didn't even touch it.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much you can go in depth.
So
It's
much
like
trauma to unravel.
facts. It's like
Yo,
if you
you're
know
not even wrong, bro. You're not even wrong.
facts. Like if you know, you know. Like if
Yeah.
you're like a first or second generation
For real.
like American, you
There's
know.
so much.
Even like third, I feel like if your parents are very in tune with their culture, you might even experience
That's
it with
true.
the third gen.
That's
But yeah.
A lot to unpack.
Yes.
For real.
So I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes.
Thank you, Pav.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
having
We
me.
had so much fun.
Yay.
Trying to
Enjoyed
show
you.
No, we'll be having her back.
Yeah.
For real.
definitely.
Yeah,
Follow
if you
me on
liked her
Instagram.
Yeah. What's your
Yes.
Instagram?
KAURNY, pronounced corny.
That's corny.
You did it on purpose?
Yeah, my last name is pronounced core.
Oh.
Then I added the NY.
Corny.
So it's core
Cute,
and
cute.
Y.
like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Corny.
say it one more time for the listeners.
KAURNY, corny. Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, so she's on Instagram. Go ahead, give her a follow.
Follow my girls. I love them.
Yeah, follow us. Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, hit the
Hit
put
that
a comment.
Hit that notification button.
Yeah. So
On YouTube.
you can follow us at Ni Santas Ni Diablas on Instagram and TikTok. And then on YouTube, you can just look us up at Ni Santas Ni Diablas, Unapologetically Imperfect. And we have videos and our audio obviously comes out audio's every Wednesday. Videos every Thursday.
Yep.
So you can either tune in via Spotify,
Apple
Music,
Podcasts.
yeah, Apple Podcasts. We're also on like other streaming sites like
Oh, yeah?
Amazon. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Basically,
Shout out to Amazon.
yeah, basically wherever you can hear a podcast, we're gonna be on.
Okay, nice. Any streaming podcast?
Yeah,
Cool.
any
Nice.
streaming service.
Learned
we're gonna
something
be on.
today.
Yeah, I didn't know that, so I looked myself up and I was like, I'm on Amazon. Okay.
What is it? It's just like Amazon Prime Video. I mean,
no,
Prime.
it's like Amazon like music.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I think
Like it's
that-
free.
Yeah.
You just have to like have Amazon.
Bet.
Yeah, so you can subscribe and have episodes out every Wednesday, and then YouTube is every Thursday. So
Get to see our faces.
yes.
Zeus.
See you soon.
Bye guys.
Until next time.
Bye.